Hello and welcome. My name's Campbell. This is Spiral Up. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And yeah, we're still in clown world. We're still going through this shift. And so today I wanted to talk about like paradigms and the box that we've built in our heads, and yeah, what we can do about getting outside of that. So let's chat about paradigms. So, paradigms. What are paradigms? Well, let me put my spectacles on. A paradigm is a model or pattern of something that may be copied. A theory or a group of ideas about how something should be done, made, or thought about. The full definition of a paradigm is an outstandingly clear or typical example of an archetype, an example of a conjunction or a declension, showing a word in all its inflectional forms. There you go. A philosophical or theoretical framework of a scientific school or discipline within which theories, laws, and generalizations and the experiments performed in support of them are formulated. So there you go. That's the longer explanation, but basically it's the box that we see the world through. It's the program. That's what the paradigm is. And all our lives, we've been given this paradigm. This is the paradox, is that the paradigm, your perspective, mostly isn't actually yours. It's been given to you. And, you know, when we think about this, we know it, right? We go to school, we get educated, where we get told not how to think, but what to think. We get taught how to view the world, how to interpret it through a certain paradigm. And we take this on as truth, and we believe it's truth. And it's not our fault. We, don't really have much choice. We're children, and we grow up through the world, and every step of the way, all of the machine, right, society, the cultivar, it enforces this paradigm. It always wants to reinforce that paradigm is true and correct. But the more you look around, the more you find that it's not. And so what I want to talk about really is we're at a point in time where things are changing fairly rapidly. And what's really changing is our perspective of the world and what it is, where we are, what's going on. And for our whole lives, we've been taught that things that we can't see, touch, and feel aren't real, that they're not there. And this is, of course, scientism, right? This is how they kill God. That they tell us that the ether, spirit, doesn't exist. Now, this also has huge ramifications with electricity and free electricity, because that's, without the ether, you don't get free electricity. So they've told us that all this stuff doesn't exist, right? Clairvoyancy, tarot, mediumship, fortune telling, if you want to put it that way, and all the traditional types of fortune telling, things like dowsing, and looking for water, these different spiritual and magical rituals that were done to get answers, to talk, to the spirit of Gaia, right? That's, I guess, who they're talking to talk to the spirit of Gaia and to God, to higher realms, higher entities, and get information and inspiration. And we've been taught all of that doesn't exist. Now, when you look back through history, you find nothing but that. Nothing but that's all that exists. You don't find, accounting books back in history, or you do, but, the story of man is all about the unseen. I mean, what is love, right? Can you see it? Can you touch it? Of course not. Are you going to argue that it doesn't exist, though? Of course not. So what I'm seeing at the moment is there is a rising consciousness, and a lot of people are starting to to bring all this stuff into their awareness and their consciousness. Things like, you know, channels and channeled information and tarot and, more esoteric sort of things. And well, a lot of people are, embracing that, and a lot of people are getting big walls up and rejecting it because it's something different to them. And there's kind of problems with both sides. You should never jump in and hear someone say something and think that's the truth. Wow, 100%, I've found it, I've got the answer, because that doesn't exist. It's all information, okay? And so you get information. If it makes sense, you take it on board, and you don't need to judge it as right or wrong. You can just judge it as interesting. Okay, I'll take that on board. That's interesting. Then when you get more information that supports that first bit of information, then it becomes more and more a perspective, until eventually, if it's true in your journey, it will become truth in your perspective. That's how it works. Okay, this is autodidactic, right? This is all about being self-educated, and the biggest part of that is you can't make a decision if you've only got one perspective, if you've only got one point of view. You can't make a decision if you've only got 2 points of view, because that's just polarization, right, wrong. You can't even make your own decision if you've got 3 points of view, really. You need more than 3 points, and really the more the merrier, 6, 10, as many as you can, because the more perspectives you have, the more that will hone your perspective. Because all you're doing is taking bits and pieces of what relate to you. You don't have to take 100% of what people say, and if you do, that's a problem. That's a problem. So, yeah, what I wanted to say is I've started obviously doing a few videos, interviewing a few different people, and there's the work I've been doing with Kel, hunting for the Crystal City, and lots of people are loving it. The vast majority, but there's people that, because we're talking about things that they can't see, touch, and feel, and they've been taught aren't real, or more than that, they've been taught are weird and silly and gobbledygook, and that's just ridiculousness. They get these massive walls when they come across this information, and rather than just saying that doesn't gel with me, okay, I'll go find different information, they think that they need to stop and put out to the universe that, what they feel about it. This is crap, or this is stupid, or whatever. Now, the problem with that is that's judgment, right? You're never going to learn any more about that topic. You've cut yourself off. So you've judged it, so you'll never learn any more. And there's a saying, and I hammered this into my boys when they were growing up. The people who know everything are the stupidest people around on the plane. They are. Because can you know everything? Can anyone know everything? Obviously not. So if you know everything, or if you think you know everything, can you learn anything? Of course not. So people who know everything are the stupidest people around. They think they know everything, so they can never learn, because they judge things as right or wrong. They put themselves in a box and they cut themselves off. And then they walk around with a silly look on their face, because their program, their paradigm is telling them that they're correct. And we see this a lot, and people will walk around and they think that they get this view that everyone believes what they do, and they walk around with this look like, oh, of course, yeah, everyone. And I guess a lot of us, because it's all attached to ego as well, right? People don't want to be wrong. I'm right. My viewpoint's right. That will just hold you in a box. And people don't think the same as you. They really don't. Everyone's got their own perspective. So, if you're thinking a perspective because you think it's popular, or that you'll be, in the right crowd, that's a trap as well. So the point is, and I'm not sure if I'm getting this out very well, is, when you come across information that is new and different and that challenges you and your perspective, number one, don't ree and scream and put negativity out into the ether, because we've got enough of that already. Okay, we don't need any more negativity. Any more of this judgment, right or wrong kind of stuff, because that's censorship as well. And everyone jumps up and down and says we shouldn't have censorship. And then you put up information that they don't, that doesn't gel with them, and they start jumping and saying blah, 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 blah. That's censorship, guys. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. Okay, you can either lock yourself in a box and you can have all the censorship you want, or you can have freedom. And freedom is not necessarily easy, guys. Freedom means that you need to give everyone else their freedom. That's it. If someone has a different idea or a different perspective, fine. How is that going to affect you at all? What's the problem? I don't get what the problem is. But so many people just, it's such a trigger point. So that's your program reacting and your paradigm trying to keep you in the box, right? Trying to rule you and control you, which tells you it's your ego. It's really your ego controlling the whole thing. So when you come across information like that, challenge yourself. Go in there, challenge yourself. Ask yourself, why am I getting this reaction? Where does this come from? And I guarantee you'll remember people telling you that this stuff is stupid and how dare you and whatever. And who knows, maybe you got a magician's kit as a kid and ran out and showed your mum and dad and they called you stupid. It could be anything. Or maybe it's just that you're really scientific and smart, and that's how you're smart, right? Because that's what we're taught. Smart people are scientific, and they don't believe in all this, woo-woo weirdness. And that's not true either. Look back in history, that's a complete lie as well. Science, right? Seance, a lot of early scientists were channels, and chemistry comes from alchemy. So, it's... people just have they don't know where their perspective comes from, and they fight. It's like that saying, if you fight to keep your limitations, then you get to keep them, right? You will win. You'll get to be as limited as you want. But why would you do that? So, when you come across new things, especially understand that we're in a point in time where this is what's happening. 10 years ago, this stuff, you could have pushed it away and I'm not interested now. You can't do that, because this is what the awakening is. This is why we're seeing more. And reality is just going to keep smacking you on the head until you take a look. Okay, that's where we're at. So much easier to, just go into it yourself, question yourself, drop all the crap, all the programming, and really explore and see what the truth really is. Because everything's just a story we've been given. And that's a much freer way to live. And along the way, remember that freedom means that everyone, as long as they do no harm, cause no loss or injury, everyone can do whatever they want. Whatever they want. Think what they want. They can even say what they want. Okay? On the news, everyone, how dare they say this? All right, just turn it off and don't watch it. Don't give it energy. Because whatever we focus on, we give energy, whether we're saying it's good or bad. I don't know if I got my point across there, but we really need to be open-minded and understand that all these blocks we have and all these perspectives that we have of what is right and what is wrong and what is possible and what is not possible, it's just a story being given to us by someone else. That's it. That's all it is. Unless it's based on personal experience, that's all it is. And that's, unfortunately, for most people, that's 99% of perspective is what they've been given, not what they've experienced. So it's much better to go through and experience things yourself. If someone tells you, oh, that's crap, ask them why. Go look into the subject and see if it's crap. That's what I do. And look what I found out. And that's how you go forward. Understand it's a program, it's a box, it's there to hold you down. And as long as you let it, it will. The more energy you give it, the stronger it'll get. So don't be one of these people who sees information or a video or something in a video and feels the need to stop, take time out of their day and write something like, this video was a waste of my time. I've literally had comments like that. Like seriously, just think about that, guys. Just think about that. Someone stops, takes 5 minutes out of their day to write, this was a waste of my time. They just wasted more time. Okay, think about things like this. Twist my brain. It starts to hurt. Just try and be. And I'm sure that I'm not. I'm sure that I'm preaching to the choir, and this is not you guys, but this is something that we see everywhere. So it will be popping up in everyone, just to greater and lesser degrees. So if you see it popping up, jump on it and rip it open, explore it, get rid of it, find out what the truth is, because that's where we are, right? It's time to, burn the storybook, kick the camera over, and find out what the truth behind the curtain really is. And because unless you understand that everything in front of the curtain is a story and a play, then you're never going to look behind the curtain and find the truth. All right, the man pulling the little levers, the whiz. So there you go, guys. I hope I got that message across. Hope you got something out of that. So just remember, everything is a story you've been told. It's something you've taken on, and unless you've proved it or disproved it through personal experience, it's just an opinion. That's it. It's just an opinion. It doesn't have any basis in any factual reality at all. Please give me a like, leave me a comment, share this content around if you find it interesting and think it may help others. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified of all future uploads. And of course, a big thank you to everyone who does support me and my work, these channels, other channels. I really do appreciate you all. Thank you for spending some time with me. And as always, guys, look inside yourself, because there is greatness in there. And I'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.